Right, Gary, thanks for speaking to us. First of all, how's Ryan doing after midweek?
The big man's fine. He's declared himself fit, but protocols sort of have to be followed. So we just have to assess him day by day, and obviously it's all the rightly so. The most important things is welfare, and you know, again, it was a heroic act, and you know, his teammates showed their gratitude to him again this morning.
It was a real show of unity, wasn't it? It was a quite powerful interview you did after the game, talking about it, and it just shows maybe how much you're in it together.
Yeah, definitely. I think also the biggest thing I took from it was the respect that the players have for the captain. He's a fantastic lad, and worked with him in Scotland when we won the league up there. And, you know, he was an Englishman and captain of the Scottish team up there, which showed you the respect that he commanded from his fellow pros. Excuse me. And he's done that here, and you know, it was, like you say, it was powerful to witness. What a witness at half time, and again this morning in the debrief. You know, the way that they all spoke about him, and you know, they nominated him as man of the match, and him being as humble as he was, saying, I only played 40 minutes, I can't be man of the match. But we understood why, you know, they nominated him because of that act.
Yeah, he said that. Going forward then, I know you'll say one game at a time, and look, football can change.
I built this reputation, haven't I, for saying one game at a time.
Yeah, you're not alone. But football can change quite drastically in 90 minutes, and I think
of course.
Midweek proved that, didn't it? Suddenly that league table looks a lot better.
Well, I think, excuse me, the game itself changed dramatically. We didn't start very well, and you know, Leighton Orient are a good team, and it's funny because I was thinking about it. The last two games and this coming game, of all three teams very successful over the last couple of years, and there's many factors in that, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the amount of money that those three teams have spent. Obviously one or two in that three, a bit more than the other. But the stability in the management. So if you look at Dave Challoner, how long's Dave been there? If you look at Richie's been there 3 years now at Leighton Orient, and then you look at Phil at Wrexham. You would think it would catch on, wouldn't you, in terms of that stability, and keep managers in place a little bit longer and allow them to develop. And I just think this, you know, this is another example going to Wrexham on Saturday, and what a wonderful job that Phil's done, because not only has he got to manage, you know, the money, but also the razzmatazz that's associated with the club now. I think they've done brilliant with how they've done it. The owners. I went the other week when they played Stockport, and you know, they've really got the place going, and that's a credit to them, obviously, and they know what they're doing. But it did really hit me in terms of stability and what that then brings.
Is that something you want to bring back here to Burton Albion? They've always had a proud history when you look at Nigel Clough and
yeah,
so
of course.
And that paid off. They got so much success.
I think football clubs, you know, football clubs is it's no surprise, in my opinion, that if you put solid foundations in place and stick with it, and obviously there'll be times where, you know, you might just hit some choppy waters, but you have to see that through, and you know, you have to then see light at the end of the tunnel and where you can get to. Obviously, investment does play a part in that, but I'm a big believer in that stability.
I don't think we've ever heard from you publicly or the Nordic Football Group publicly on your situation here at the club. Are you tied down beyond this?
Yeah, as far as I know, unless you're telling me something different.
In terms of that confirmation, you spoke last week about talking to players, and do you see your future here beyond this season?
Oh, my contract's ongoing, in the sense of, you know, I know when my contract ends, and that's when the owners turn around and say, we no longer want you. You know, I think football contract for managers has always been like that. You know, they can all come out, can't they? When they announce him, it makes me smile when they go, "Oh, he's got a 3-year contract," and then sack him after 6 months. Well, there must be an agreement in that 3-year contract, mustn't there? But it's for me, it's just when they don't want you, they'll tell you.
So how far do you look into the future?
Saturday.
Beyond that, though.
Next Saturday.
I have a feeling I know when it's...
Yeah, no. I've been involved in it long enough to know that you can't get carried away and look too far. Obviously, we're at the planning stage or now in terms of pre-season, and then obviously recruitment. But that's just at the the beginning stages of that, and so I think that's for the game's changed so much now, where there's sporting directors of football, whatever the title is, technical directors, that they're the ones that then can start looking further afield. Managers, they will just tell you that they just focus on the here and now.
Burton as a club is still paying the price for last summer, though, and the way they're recruited and how much change maybe happened in that first half of the season, and you're still trying to recover that deficit that you came into, doing a great job at getting as close as you can. Has there been a readdressing of the strategy maybe going into this summer and how the club needs to operate?
From my own experiences, we did what we did in the window in January, and obviously at the end of this season we'll have players that will leave because of the go out on loan. We'll have potentially players that will leave that they're out of contract, and then we'll have players that will be returning, and it's a case of just assessing everything. Then really it's like for us now is just to keep focusing on what we can control, and that's obviously trying to pick a team for Saturday.
Yeah, and it's been quite a change, hasn't it? You look at the first starting 11 of the season, I think 2 of them started your last game, so it just shows how much turnaround
really?
there's been. No. And it's almost, when you look at this group of players that are trying to dig you out of this hole, and you and the staff as well, it's almost unfair that they're in that position, isn't it? Because they're trying to make up for lost ground.
Oh, life's unfair at times, Tom. Let's not start going down there. No, I think it is what it is. With the situation when we came in, is exactly how we found it. Myself and Pat, when we came in, we know exactly what it was, and you have a choice, don't you? You either take it or you don't take it, and we've took it and we've thoroughly enjoyed it, and we're going to have a right good go at these remaining games that we've got left now with this group. Who, I think the special thing about this group is how quickly they formed that bond and they formed that connection. And again, going back to the captain on Tuesday night, just the Lofthouse coming in and saying what he said, and the way that the others stepped up and responded, and it got mentioned again in the debrief today about people stepping up, and that's been really special for me, and that's why I've really loved working with these lads, because for them to be that close so quickly is a credit to them all.
Going forward then, Wrexham, the immediate next match. There's always a circus around Wrexham wherever you go. Is it nice going there as the underdog with little expectation?
We go everywhere as the underdog, mate.
Well, that's it. You can go there with the little expectation from the outside world, but a bit of a siege mentality looking to define the odds.
Again, we will approach the game exactly as we've approached every other game, where we're going to try and set out a team that we feel that can try and get a win. We've never ever adopted approach of not trying to go and win the game, and we'll do the same. We've got, like I said about Phil there, he's amassed a wonderful squad, a lot of experience. So we had an experience of that last week going to Stockport. So I'm hoping that experience that they've had, this group, will stand them in good stead for Saturday's game.
Do you need to see a faster start then?
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. We've got to start better. Although saying that, we had the first shot on Tuesday night. We got in very early with Larson, but we need to start the game better. Yeah.
Cheers, Gary.
Of course. Okay. I wondered if I've asked you about Jason Sirhan. You
Yes.
obviously brought him back into the starting lineup.
Yes.
There would be a reason for that. And how could you tell me that reason and how he did in your view?
Well, when we first come in, Jason was in the team and did very well.
Yeah.
Birmingham away, he did well. He did well against Exeter when we were here, and then I think it was Huddersfield. Yeah, it was Huddersfield away. He had the bad injury, and he's been out for the length of time he's had, and he just, you know, what he does do is he adds you obviously a bit of physicality and height. So, you know, from our point of view, he played in that bounce game that we had when we had a free week to get him back into it. And we just felt with the amount of games that we've got over this week, it was some time to bring him in. And, you know, the plan was always for him to get as long as he possibly could. So he would be so much better for that 60 minutes that he had, I think it was, on Tuesday night. And, you know, as ever, we're going to need him.
Mm-hmm. And he was pretty solid, wasn't he?
Oh, I think he gives you absolutely everything he's got. Mm-hmm. He really does.
Okay. Tough on Jack Armour, but
yeah, very. No, exactly. And you know, we sat down with him on Monday and explained our decision in terms of why I was making that change, and you know, he took it brilliantly. And then we said, "You've got to be ready to come on." And again, you know, he's never let us down, Jack. He's always gave us his all, and you know, we're going to need him again.
Yeah. You mentioned with Ryan that you're taking it day by day.
Yes.
Does that mean that the concussion protocols have kicked in or not?
Yes. You have to follow procedure. I'm not exactly clued up on how many and what is the next stage, what have you, other than, you know, he has to do the initial tests, and we will be guided by the medicals for sure. But one thing we won't do is we won't put Ryan Sweeney at any danger whatsoever, even though if he was sat here now, he'd tell you he's fit to play tonight if there was a game. Yeah. But there's not. But just in case the protocol people jump on and think we're playing in a game in behind.
But the protocols will mean that he can't play on Saturday.
Yes. Yes.
A word for Julian Larson.
Brilliant.
He looked like he was, like the goal had done him a world of good.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I made a joke in the post-match that he had his first goal at the weekend, and then he had his first proper block as a defender. Having watched it back on the video, it was an impressive block from him, and he really did, to use the phrase, run his socks off for us. And again, he's another one that the players have got so much respect for because of the time he's had out, and he's had to be patient, and then he's got his opportunity. And I agree. I think the goal, and not only the goal, the nature of his goal, you know, it was such a wonderful strike that's gave him a massive bolt of confidence.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm skipping about, but going back to the defence with Ryan out. How's Terence Van Kooten? Is he close?
Terence is going to be out for the season, I'm afraid.
Right.
Yeah. So he had a block on a week last Tuesday, and yeah, it's he's got he won't be with us in terms of the injury that he sustained.
Did you say it was his calf?
We thought it was his calf, but it's not. It's his actual fibula.
Right.
Which is, like I say, at the time, a freak injury.
Yeah, that's a shame. Okay, that's me.
Thank you.
Andy?
Gary, obviously a fantastic result on Tuesday. All the players buzzing in training.
Today, yes, yeah. I think you know, when you have a win, they always come in, you know, with a spring in the step, and the weather's helped again today with that as well. So, but no, they're just, you know, they're excited and they're looking forward to going to Wrexham and again putting themselves against a very good team.
You said earlier about stepping up.
Yeah.
And obviously the players stepped up in that second half. And then when they talk about stepping up, they know what it is now.
Yeah.
They know what.
That's what I mean. The group itself has been brilliant, and we're big on the debrief, and like I say, in the way that they conduct the debriefs, where they started off to where they are now, is just really good. And I think that's a measure of the learning that's taken place. And like you've just said there, they know now what stepping up means. Game management, we've been learning about game management with them, with the younger boys that we've got in the squad. So all learning that's taking place is great.
We mentioned some of the players that come out for some praise on Tuesday. Kalinowskis, when he came on, played in a different shape and seemed to make a huge impact.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? It's the benefit of the whole squad. Thomas is another one that's been, probably like Lars, in the sense of being a little bit frustrated that they haven't had much game time. But we had a meeting with all the lads that are not in the starting 11 last week, and we just talked about the impact that they can have and how they've conducted themselves ever so well in training, and now they needed to continue that because we knew that their time would come, and that proved the case again on Tuesday night with them.
Is there any other players that are nearing coming back into contention?
Yeah, Tavares will be very close, so we're delighted with that. Coventry, he went back to Coventry for large parts of his rehab, so we got Coventry to thank for that. So he'll be close. Mason Bennett will be close. JD might be back on the grass tomorrow. So from that point of view, touch wood, there's a bit of good news coming back.
And obviously everybody's sending well wishes to Ryan.
Yes.
I would imagine he's quite embarrassed about that.
Yes. He doesn't know what all the fuss is about. But again, that's the measure of the guy.
And 3 points away at Wrexham is a possibility. That's what we're aiming for.
Oh, unless somebody's told me that there isn't a possibility when there's two teams in the game of football. So yeah, we've got it. We know we've got it all on, but we're going to try and, like you say, piece a team together, work with them, and have a right good go at it. And it's a wonderful place to go and play football, and it's up to us to go and have a go. Thank you.
Finally, Gaffer, we've spoken about the lads as a collective. The other side of that can't be underestimated is the fans, the amount that travelled to Stockport and then made the amazing atmosphere on Tuesday night. Are you hoping to replicate that on Saturday?
Well, it was brilliant, because when I went to get a drink at the side of Stockport, this Stockport fan shouted at me, and he said, "Oi!" I said, so I'm thinking, oh, here we go, I'm going to get some stick. And I looked up and he said, "Your fans are brilliant." He said, "They have made more noise than any other fans coming," which I don't know, I can't, but... And he made reference to a club, and I won't name that club, but he said, and I was like, oh, brilliant. And they did, and we were on the opposite side to them, and they were the same at Lincoln away, they were the same at Shrewsbury away, and even the ones that went to Stevenage with us, and they have been magnificent. It was funny, I had a guest come to the game on Tuesday night, and it was the first time he said I'd been to Burton to a game, and he said, I couldn't believe, what was the attendance? 2,600, 2,700?
I think it was like 2-3.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was how much?
2-3.
2-3. Oh wow! Well, even less then. And he said, I couldn't believe the noise that they made. And I was like, well, to be fair, they get behind us, and I'm a big Bob Marley fan. As a result of it, I can't find myself in the car singing "Don't worry, be happy." So it was Bob Marley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just had to check myself there. Yeah, Three Little Birds.
Yeah.
So they've made a massive impact on me because they've got me on Bob Marley.
Beautiful.
So look, we want more. We want as many as we can. If how many did you say we sold?
It's just under 500 at the moment.
So the more we can get to support the lads, that'd be brilliant, because they're making a massive difference. The lads talk about it, and you see the connection. I think there's a real connection between the supporters and the players. At the end. So with what they do, I don't know if that was previous, but the way that it's just developed that, and I think it's really good from them.
Yeah, and hope to replicate that on Saturday. Those
Yeah,
at the end.
yeah, definitely.
Perfect.
Thank you.